Welcome to Kampala, a city filled with energy, innovation, and a vibrant rhythm that never stops. In Namgongo, a Kampala suburb, we meet a 17-year-old Ruth Alice Nakauchi, a senior 3 student at St. Henry's College, Namgongo, one of 7 siblings.
Yes, I have 6 siblings. I have 2 sisters, even though I also want another one because I want us to be I want it to be fair.
Raised by a financially struggling mother without a father's support, Ruth views education as her sole path to escape poverty, resolutely pursuing a career in law.
To bring justice, and I like even the way they dress up. So I want to become a lawyer. That's why I don't like missing. Okay. Yeah.
Despite her cheerful demeanor, a silent worry persists each month, one that threatens her education: the lack of sanitary pads. In recent years, the topic of menstrual health has been integrated into the curriculum of most Ugandan schools, contributing to a reduction in the stigma surrounding menstruation.
I would say 70% of the girl child, they understand the menstrual cycle, and 30% maybe of the senior ones don't.
However, some stakeholders express concern that the teaching of this topic in schools has not been adequately addressed.
Yeah, okay, this generation is different. Parents fear their children. Parents don't talk about it. They fear to talk about. They say that what should we talk about? They fear to talk about it. The teachers don't talk about it as something usual. They just teach it in class. And then those girls who are not bright enough to pick it in class can't know what they've talked about. So the girls feel they are still there in dilemma. They don't know what to do.
Like most mothers, Ruthie's mother was aware when her daughter began her cycle.
Yatandika. Yali P6. Yali mu senior 3.
Because now most of them who cannot afford, you find them uncomfortable using toilet papers, using old clothing that are made out of cotton, that makes them feel uncomfortable in class and to associate with fellow students when they are in their days.
Waliwo ekiseera wabeera nga talina ate alina okugenda ku ssomero.
As a mother of 7, Ruthie's mother explains that the financial strain of providing for her large family makes purchasing sanitary pads a luxury she cannot afford.
Toyagala osigazaako k'ogenda okuzzaayo osobole. Kati awo k'oba ofunyeeko, bw'oba ofunyeeko ogwo omutwalo omanya nti omutwalo guno kanguteereyo gundi ku ssomero, oba waliwo ekyetaagisa nga byakulya, mmere, tebalina sukaali, tewali sabbuuni, bintu bwe bityo n'ogenda ng'otematema n'osobola okubeerawo.
Despite this, Some community leaders hold a differing perspective on this matter.
Some parents are not conscious of it, don't take it serious that a periods can affect the study of the girl or of the child. They underestimate it, not take it as a serious issue.
Yes.
So that they can discuss it or try to find out with the child.
Yes.
In case she's in the periods, so that it does not stop her from studying.
Yes. Nkwebaza amakubo gogadde webale saala zotazeemu n'abandese ne bagenda zonna
Sometimes, during days of heavy menstrual flow, the semi-candidate occasionally chooses to stay home and revise her notes in her mother's charcoal stall instead of attending school.
I can't go to school without the pad because I fear my friends to laugh at me or other students to laugh at me. So sometimes I have to stay home because at least at home I can stay inside the house.
When asked if her mother could intervene, Ruth expresses feeling guilty about adding to her already financially strained mother's burdens.
Even though she gets it yet still it has very many demands. Sometimes you find yourself that she bought some things from some shops, so she has to pay back, whereby she won't be able to buy for me the pads, whereby I won't be able to ask for the pads.
Ruthie's days are consumed by the relentless pursuit of basic necessities. She sells charcoal at her mother's kiosk and takes on any odd jobs available. Her efforts driven by the need to afford sanitary pads.
Yeah, I go there in the morning, I wash utensils, I clean the house, maybe I wash even some clothes. So at the end of the month, I receive some money. During the holidays, maybe even here when I'm studying, maybe mom has somewhere to go and she thinks the clothes are very many. So she tells me if I'm okay to help her, I go with her.
They hustle around. They wash clothes on the neighborhood. They go dig to get the money. But the money they get still, the parents they ask it from them to top up on the school fees, to top up on the needs at home. So they find themselves that they don't have enough to keep to add on.
The average price of pads in Uganda can vary depending on the brand, quality, and where you purchase them. However, a packet of factory-made sanitary pads typically costs between 3,000 and 5,000 Ugandan shillings. This can be a significant strain for many families in rural and suburban Uganda that live below the poverty line. For now, Ruth remains trapped in a cycle of perpetual anxiety over securing her next supply of menstrual products.
Wololo, 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 wololo.
Even in 2025, the stigma surrounding menstruation persists in Ugandan society, forcing discussions into hushed whispers and coded language, especially when men are present.
The mothers fear to talk to their girls. The mothers who also experience the same thing fear to talk to their girls. How about the men?
For us men, we hardly we hardly mind so much because I can't remember any time let me give my testimony on myself. I don't remember any time bothering to find out about whether my child is in periods or not in periods.
Gamba ekigambo ekya paadi n'okugenda mu nsonga abantu abasinga obungi kaabe musajja kaabe mukazi bakitwalanga kyekisemba sina kisembayo, it is just a by the way ne bagitwalanga nsonga nkulu eyinza kukosa omuntu anyhow.
Meet Brian Katunze, an economist and passionate advocate for girl-child education.
Mix up with your friends. I want you to make friends. Become friends. Okay? Because you don't know what the future holds. Or Brian.
While working with the Project Princess Initiative, an NGO pushing for girl-child empowerment, he focuses his efforts on overcoming key obstacles such as period poverty, peer pressure, and teenage pregnancy amongst school-going girls.
We go in their schools and find out from them. We find out from their teachers. We find out from their parents. So in most cases, when we go for sessions, we find that most girls have not come to school. And if you ask why, they say they're absent. So if you try to inquire more why they didn't come to school, you find out that someone is in their periods, they didn't come to school. Why they didn't come to school? Because they can't provide, they can't have the pads. They can't have the sanitary towels to keep safe to come in school. And as we know that the periods usually take 3 to 4 days, others take a week. So we find that each month, several girls miss school for more than 4 days because they're in their period.
He urges society, including men, to take on a decisive stance against this issue.
My father is aware, but then my father is someone whom you tell something and he just keeps quiet. Or sometimes he just moves out of the house. So he just remains there, quiet.
I think most people considering my society I have, it is a low-class sort of majority, a low-class kind of people,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
Mainly those who take their children to UPE schools.
Yes.
So that you find, because of the nature of the people they are, it is they are not sensitized, they are not aware of periods, they can't connect a period, how a period can affect the study of a child. That one needs somebody who is a bit enlightened,
Yes.
who is a bit concerned to dig deep into that one.
According to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics 2021 report, approximately 28% of girls in rural areas drop out of school due to challenges such as poverty, early marriage, and inadequate access to sanitary facilities.
And sunflowers.
In line with sensitization, organizations like Project Princess Initiative and other NGOs have been actively engaged in advocacy, mentorship, and the provision of sanitary pads to address this issue. However, some stakeholders question whether these efforts alone are enough to combat this persistent challenge. Is a more systematic intervention needed to break this cycle?
NGOs or whatever they are, they have not, I am a chairman,
Yes.
they have not been serious on this one in particular. They come on other things, but this specific one of pads and periods and education.
Yes.
I think you are one of the few that I have seen
Yes.
who have come up to find out about this. Yeah.
In April 2020, First Lady Janet Museveni serving as the Minister of Education and Sports, announced plans for a sanitary pad manufacturing factory to distribute pads at no cost to girls nationwide. As of May 2024, this plan has yet to materialize.
Our government has not done enough because in my opinion, I think since the government has government schools, these materials should be free. The government should provide free material to the girls because they know the parents are poor. Because if a parent can fail to pay 100,000 for school fees, do they expect the parent to afford the pads?
People need sensitization really to be connect, as I told you, connecting the effect of periods on education. Very few people who know that that really does it matter. That does the girl being in periods affect her studies? People who are taking that serious are very few, and very few. Are very few.
Periods are a natural part of life, yet for many girls like Ruth Alice, they remain a silent struggle. While she fights to excel in education, behind the scenes, she faces the constant challenge of accessing sanitary towels, an unseen battle that threatens her dreams. Her story is not unique. It echoes the reality of countless African girls whose education is disrupted by something as simple yet essential as menstrual health. Until this silent struggle is addressed, the path to education for many will remain an uphill journey.
It's for every woman or every girl has to go through that period.